Hey y'all. Sorry that started off aggressive. What is the full pack today? We're gonna be talking about the season finale. If I remember correctly, the season finale of Daryl Dixon Book of Carol. Um. So yeah, the episode starts off with Daryl and Laurent talking about the fact that Daryl will be the one that's staying behind. Which super worried about. I was super worried about that. Um, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, they're like talking about the fact that Daryl's is gonna be staying behind, and Laurent's like, "Don't do that," and then Daryl like is singing. Daryl sung in this episode, which I thought that was a emotional scene. They were singing. I don't know I haven't looked it up yet, but it was a song where it was like, "You can't get what you want," or something like that. Which first off, Daryl singing. Norman Reedus, a phenomenal singer. Anyway, so then it cuts to. I'm gonna try to remember how the episode plays out. If I get something wrong, let me know. But, it cuts to Carol and Ash talking while they're looking at the plane. And Carol's the one that is thinking about staying behind. And my heart's racing, right? I was like, no, there's no way that they're going to separate these characters. Because, like, if they separated these characters, what was the point of this entire season? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Then we find out that the club lady, that was like in the nightclub, is with the bad guys, and she strikes a deal with them. She's like, "I'll take you to the boy," and I think she pretends to be American, unless she is American. She's like, "I want to get back to my people," in an American accent. That threw me off. I was like, hold on, are you American or are you French? Not that it really matters, because the character is still, I think I like the character, which is weird because I don't really care for characters like that where it's just like she's there, she exists. But yeah, so the girl, the club girl, and the new quote unquote main bad, reason why I'm saying quotes will be discussed later, go to where Daryl Dixon and them are. And they're like fighting, or they like go in, there's a bunch of zombies, and they lock the stripper girl out of the cage, and the main boss girl was like, "You knew," and the stripper girl was like, "Daryl Dixon will kill you," and then guard girl, I'm sorry, I don't remember their names, but leader girl was like, "No, I have God on my side," which, like, you're killing people, so it's like that's got to be against some type of rule with Christianity, but whatever. So then they make it to the plane. It's been decided that Daryl's staying back, which, fair enough. He does know the place better than Carol, so it's like Carol would not survive on her own, but also, So Ash, Laurent, and Carol get into the plane while Daryl fends off everyone with Mitchell and Black Guy. I'm just gonna call him Lee, even though it's not Lee. I'm calling him Lee. Anyway, so Lee, Daryl, and Mitchell are fending off the people. There was a couple of times where I thought that they were gonna kill off Ash. Like when the bike guy, I thought the bike guy was gonna shoot, and then Ash dies, and then Daryl gets into the plane and then flies off or something. And then there was also another time where the army people, the Nazis, were like gonna drive into the plane, and then I thought that they were gonna shoot Ash because Daryl ran out of bullets. But then we find out that Carol jumped out of the plane and shot those people. Shot those guys. I was like heart racing. And you never know with The Walking Dead. So like when Laurent and Ash, because they're by themselves, Laurent and Ash fly off into sunset. I thought, because it was lingering on Nazi girl for way too long. I thought that she was gonna like shoot down the plane and then Laurent and Ash die. I was like, oh my fucking god, imagine that's just how they send off both those characters. But thankfully, no. Because I actually like Laurent. Ash was okay. I need to get to know him more in order to have a fair thought about him. But Laurent, I actually like Laurent. Laurent's probably one of my favorite characters in the show. Besides, like, obviously Daryl and Carol, but excluding them, for series specific characters, Laurent's my favorite. Which is surprising because children in The Walking Dead are usually fucking annoying. Even y'all know that I praise Carl as much as I can. Even I admit Carl was a dipshit the first couple of seasons, and then he finally fucking nutted up in his final couple seasons. So yeah, kids are kind of annoying, other than Judith, but also I think Judith did have some moments where she was like kind of irritating. I don't remember when though. I don't know, but anyway. Oh, and also, that's not fair. RJ doesn't speak at all, so it's like, RJ. Until RJ has something, he's not really relevant to the talking about the children. But anyway, where was I? Sorry. Anyway, but thankfully they win. I forgot to mention that Army girl got bit, so then she kills herself, which is like a sad send-off, but also made sense for her character. Anyway. So then Mitchell, Carol, Daryl, and Lee's girlfriend walk to a tunnel that apparently... This tunnel, I think, leads not directly to Alexandria, but where Alexandria is. And I want to call bullshit. I want to call out The Walking Dead for this. You're sitting here telling me we were one tunnel away from variant walkers in the early seasons? Come on. Anyway. But I digress. So they go into the tunnel. And they find this little army base. Oh, they had these Scottish people too that they met up with. Turns out the Scottish people were bad, but we'll get into that. So they enter the tunnel. And they look and they see a bunch of like bioluminescent zombies or dead people. They're not zombies yet, or walkers. Sorry. Um, Daryl lifted up like a tarp and saw gas masks, so he was like, okay, we got to go quickly because there's something wrong down here. But they take their sweet ass time enough to where the walkers wake up and start fighting. I think the walkers like produced chemicals as they died, because how did you not like start hallucinating before? But anyway, so everybody starts hallucinating. Carol kills a zombie, turns around, sees Sophia, a grown-up Sophia, which, if they somehow got the Sophia actress, because I know the Sophia actress is still alive and well. The Sophia actress, I think put on makeup and was like back to Sophia. Obviously Carol couldn't stomach it. She was like, oh shit, that's my daughter. She sees zombie Sophia walk down into the chamber. Obviously, she's hallucinating this. We all know that Sophia is well enough dead, but I digress. So zombie Sophia leads Carol into a chamber where there's even more zombies. Carol hallucinates herself as a zombie, but then it cuts away to Mitchell, who hallucinates his brother as a zombie. Daryl kills the zombie brother, and Mitchell loses it. He starts attacking Daryl. I think he even stabbed Daryl at one point, but Daryl tanked that shit. Then it cuts back to Carol. And Carol is like having a rough time killing a zombie version of her. Obviously, like if you saw yourself as a zombie, you'd freak the fuck out too. But anyway, she kills the zombie version of her. She hallucinates a live Sophia, which I was surprised. I was surprised that they did this. I don't know if they recasted Sophia or if it was like CGI. Probably CGI. But I think that this is the end of the chapter. I think that from now on, Carol will live with the fact that Sophia is gone. I think Carol just needed to see a live Sophia one time. They hugged, and then Carol said, like, can I come with you? And then obviously not. Then Sophia goes into the light, and then that's that. I think that scene is going to be very important. More important to Carol's character. It lingered on for so long. If it was just like some thing where it's like, oh yeah, Carol's hallucinating Sophia again. Oh my god, just get over it already. I think that the scene would have lasted like a second. But I think it lingered on for so long because it's a defining end. It's the end of the Mama Carol chapter where Carol's just grieving Sophia. I think Carol needed to see Sophia alive again to fully have closure, to fully see that Sophia's in a better place. Which I'm happy. I'm happy they did that. I'm happy that they did that. Even though Carol was always one of those characters where I was like, okay, yeah, she's cool. But she's never had any like big moment other than like season 11. But even then she was like a back burner to Daryl. But I'm happy that she's more upfront in this series. Even though it is called Daryl Dixon and then Carol's the side card, but that just makes sense. I like that they focused on Carol's grieving since this. And I hope that this is like the end of Carol's grieving. Maybe she needed to hug Sophia first and then have Sophia tell her that it's okay. I'm happier now and everything. Because if you think about it, Sophia would have had a shit childhood if she didn't die. So, yeah. Then we finally get to the point where Daryl is hallucinating. But before that, he tries to go for the gas mask. The Scottish people attack him. And he's just like, he's on the floor. He starts hallucinating Isabel, which makes sense, honestly. Like, from an audience standpoint, it's disappointing he didn't, like, hallucinate Rick, or he didn't hallucinate Merle. I would have loved to see, like, I would have liked to see, like, another hallucinating Merle scene, kind of like a little nod to season 2, where he was by the river and Daryl got, like, stabbed with his arrows and everything. Anyway, I get why they didn't do that, like, from a realistic standpoint, because, like, they probably couldn't get Michael Reeves to return. He's probably off doing his own stuff. But I would have liked to see Rick. But also, if we got a reunion between Rick and Daryl and it just being a hallucination, it would probably suppress the emotional impact of, like, Daryl and Rick actually meeting. So they probably didn't do that for, like, fans. But I would have loved to see, like, him hallucinate Merle. That would have been nice. But it makes sense because Isabel was a substantial part of this series specifically. So makes sense from, like, a money standpoint and from, like, a casting standpoint. But yeah. Yeah. But anyway. And then the episode has a slow pan up to Daryl and Carol walking down the tunnel, and then the episode ends. This episode was 10 out of 10. In my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. That's just me, though. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. This was a phenomenal season finale. I give the overall season 2, 15 stars. For the entirety of the series, we're going to be doing a 20 point system. For overall series, we're going to be doing a 10-star system. I give this episode 9.9 stars. It was a phenomenal episode. If we did get the Merle scene, it would have been a 10 out of 10. Hands down. The overall series, though, an 18.9 star rating. It was emotional impact. We got to tear up a little bit. It was just amazing. And I do believe that there's going to be a season 3, which I think season 3 is where they should end it. Not because I don't want to see more Daryl Dixon show, but because I don't want this series to linger on too much. But I digress. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Goodbye.